Warning, if you're easily offended, triggered, or considered a snowflake by your friends, you're listening to the wrong podcast. The views and opinions you're about to hear are raw, unfiltered, and without any regard for political correctness.
I'm offended.
Shut up. Longtime friends Scott, Will, Davey, and Jay dive deep into issues that other podcasts are too scared to talk about.
No topic is off limits.
All opinions are welcome.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Unlike some other popular panel shows, you know what we're talking about. These four friends have no agenda other than to tell it like it is. This is the Big Divide.
Surprise! All right, welcome to the Big Divide show. I'm your host, Scott Rowe. I'm here out of Chi-Town, western suburbs, Illinois. Let's do a quick roll call on the Big Divide. The reason we actually called the Big Divide is because we got four of my friends from different cultures. Is my Hispanic friend out there?
Puerto Rican is in the house.
The Puerto Rican and the Boricuas. What about my African American friend?
The black dude is in the house.
The black dude's in the house, straight from Virginia. And then my the chosen one, the matzo ball himself, is Jay in the house?
The Hebrews are represented, coming to you from the great state of Illinois. And remember, there's no noise in Illinois.
No noise in Illinois. All right, welcome in everybody. And another what episode this is? Episode 4, season 1, episode 4, The Big Divide. You can go to bigdivideshow.com to submit any kind of question or request or topic. Go to bigdivideshow.com, hit the YouTube, like what we're doing, subscribe to it. You can also catch it on Spotify. Go to our Facebook, The Big Divide on Facebook, and let us know what's going on. Give us some topics. Let us know what you rate the show, 0 to 10. That was a pretty cool thing that Will's friend did for us. And let's get on with it. First topic I want to bring. We always promised. Last week we made a promise to our audience that we would cover audience participation topics first. So we have some Treston, we want to bring up one of the questions.
That's right. So we have somebody wrote in from Illinois. I think you guys know about Illinois.
There you go. Well done.
No noise.
Named Clark. And he says, proof that Joe Biden's family owned slaves. And he linked a link that you all should have gotten before the show. Yep. He says, will the cancel culture apply their logic to Joe Biden?
You know what? I'm going to say no, and proof is in some of the topics that I want to bring up today. I mean, seriously, that is the least of Joe Biden's worries that we won't hear about through the mainstream media. Right? So we're going to cover that today. My answer is no. Anybody else? We're not going to hear about that.
No, we're not going to hear about that. No. I saw that video too.
I agree. We're not going to hear about it.
Yeah, not at all.
And listen, just for the record, I don't think it's relevant. So I don't think we need to hear about it.
It's a fantastic point, Jay. Who cares? Anybody else? Jay, Willie, do you care?
I don't care.
Davey, do you care?
Not at all.
I don't even care either. I mean, no, I can't take responsibility for the generations before me. I'm not going to pay the penalty for that. Does that make sense? So there you go. I wouldn't want somebody to care if my answers did something that I had no control over. So I'm not going to hold Biden to that standard or cancel him because of it. All right, that's covered. Any other ones, Tristan, you want to bring up? We love our audience.
We actually have another one, yes. Yeah.
All right.
Her name is Nancy.
Nancy. My wife's name is Nancy.
My wife's name is Nancy.
Wow. So we got fans then.
We do.
Last name Abramovich. Nancy asks, she has 2 questions. Question number 1, to mask or not to mask?
Okay.
That's it.
That's it? What's
to mask or not to mask?
I thought there was another question tied to that I want to bring.
That's the first question. I want to hear.
Oh, I thought those were the 2 questions: to mask (question mark) or not to mask (question mark).
Darn it! Okay. All right.
So she has 3.
Can I tell a story? I want to bring a story up. We forgot to talk about this last week. Will and I went to a restaurant. So we're riding the motorcycles, right? I'm on my Triumph. I got a face mask when I ride when it's chilly out, right? So I got my mask on. We're right by his house. So he just hopped on the bike and we went to this Mediterranean place, right? And there's a guy with a mask on, ordering food, takeout, right? He turns around to face Will, and he doesn't know Will, nothing to do with Will. Just he's got a bag of food. All he has to do is walk out, and he turns around to Will and goes, "You got a mask?" Just like that. wasn't like, hey, how's it going? Hey, did you hear? It was like, he looked him dead in the eye. He goes, you got a mask?
Oh, yeah.
I had to get between that guy and everybody into place. Right? Like Will, he's his arms crossed. He's leaning against the booth. He's like, no. That was all Will said. He goes, no. And so the guy starts getting into Willie's face. Like he could have just walked out with a bag of food he had, but he's making it a point to shame Will. And then, I'm like, yeah, listen. So I look at the guy, the manager behind the counter is watching this whole thing. The eyes are wide because they're trying to take care of everybody, right? Everybody, they don't know what to do. I look at the manager. I'm like, he's got asthma. He's got health issues. So, and the guy's like, you want me to put this on social media? He starts pulling out his phone. He's gonna talk about the restaurant if they don't do something about Will.
He wanted to cancel him.
Cancel culture, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Cancel culture. So they wanted to cancel my Boricua friend. I was ready to throw down for him.
Well, I let me say this about masks. I'm fairly cavalier about it, and I'm a little cynical, but I have to be honest. After the president came down with COVID, it kind of hit me that this guy is as insulated as anybody in the world, and he came down with it. So I'm a little more sensitive to it.
Allegedly.
Oh man, are we going to go there? Really?
Hey man, we gotta stir it up. Look, we gotta stir some stuff up, man. This is what we're here for.
So he allegedly came down with it, and I allegedly reconsidered wearing a mask. And at the end of the day, it's our personal responsibility and it's our personal decision. So I want to be respectful when I'm out in stores. I know other people kind of freak out if you don't. So I'm okay with wearing a mask when I go into stores. Do I like it? No. But I'll do it to be respectful. But other than that, there's no mask on me.
But here's the ironic thing, right? And I hopped on the bike and I forgot my mask. Okay. So I walked into the restaurant and we're about to eat. So he's about to walk out. We order our food. The dilemma was over. Okay. I had to calm down. And then Scott and I sat in the booth and then they served us our food. Now we removed the mask, or Scott removed his mask to eat. Now we're eating, but wait a minute. Aren't we chewing food? Isn't our mouths unmasked? And what's the difference, right? And I know there's a COVID situation, but the CDC, they say mask protects us, right? And now they're saying it doesn't. They're retracting. So who do you believe? That's the problem right here. And they're using politics to find out and tell the people, and the people, we're naive. We're following leadership, but leadership is poor at the head front. The CDC is wrong. Fauci has said mask, no mask, mask, no mask. And they're wavering, and it's a teeter-totter, and we don't know what to do. We just don't know what to do. And I know, and Jay, you bring up an excellent point, okay? If it can happen to the president, okay, it can happen to anybody. Allegedly, just like TV said.
Yeah, I know.
But right? Yeah. Here's the thing, right? And I saw this news report yesterday, okay? The COVID rates are rising, but the fatalities are going down. Right. So that's something to look forward to, because
and the hospitalization rates are going down, too.
Exactly. Right. So we know that if this man, Donald Trump, our president, recovered in 10 days and he's 74 years old, great things are happening when it comes to conquering this virus. That's what I got to say.
Can I allegedly recovered?
Okay, so I had the same conversation with Grammy today, and Grammy, for everybody that on the podcast that knows, is my mother. Right, she lives with us. She does a great job helping us with the kids. She's the best cook in the house. So I'm going to edify my mom because she's awesome.
Great lady, by the way. Great lady.
Cook. Yeah, Willie's like Willie knows.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so I'm like, so me and my son, he's doing e-schooling right now. And Grammy's like, he gets to go back to school next week. And I'm like, oh, you get to see your friends and you get to hug your teachers and your friends again. He's a big hugger. And Grammy says, oh, no, they're not hugging. And Mason's like, why can't we hug? And Grammy's like, because of the virus, Mace. And I said, Mason, repeat after me. And he goes, okay, Daddy, November 3rd. He's like, November 3rd. And my mom's looking at me, glaring at me. She's like, do not teach him anything beyond November 3rd. I'm like, hang on a minute, my kid. I'm like, November 3rd, the virus won't matter. So I got into this conversation with my mom about president having COVID. And she's like, it's fake. It's false. He did not have it. I'm like, you're saying that all of Walter Reed is now in a conspiracy to claim he had it through testing and everything else and even drugs. And now they all got to be quiet for the rest of their lives as a cover up. Okay, DV.
Okay.
Allegedly.
So you think that's far-fetched that all of Walter Reed, we're talking about the president of the United States.
Yeah.
You don't think that
absolutely.
That's possible?
Okay. Do you think it's probable? Anything's possible. It's possible that JFK was killed by 5 assassins, or that the government brought down the 9/11 towers. Anything's possible, right? What's probable?
Okay, right.
What do you think is probable?
You think that's probable?
What do you in the world of probability? I'm asking DV. Do you think it's probable that he had COVID based on everything, the test and everything that Walter Reed did, the information coming out from the doctors of Walter Reed?
Yes, I think it's probable.
Okay, so
do you think it's probable that he didn't?
Oh my gosh, no, I think he did have it. It's probable that he did have it because so many people, doctors, said he did.
You just said I was an aborter. Wait a minute, let's go back. Come on.
No, I just said yes, he did have it.
You just asked me.
I believed he had it. I believed he had it.
But I asked you. Okay, but do you believe it's probable that he didn't?
No, it's not probable that he didn't. He had it. That's the probability. Is it possible that he didn't have it and the whole entire hospital and all the doctors are now covering it up? Is that possible? I already said it. Anything is possible.
DV, I got a question for you.
Sure, Will. Go ahead.
Why is it that you don't believe it?
He already said it's probable.
For one,
why are we doing it? Okay, he does believe it.
There's a motive. It's not probability.
Okay, really? You really believe he didn't have it, DV?
I believe it's a ploy. So I believe I think it's part of his plan, hey, to have it, and then all of a sudden you recover to push an agenda. So I believe it's that.
And millions of people, DV, you represent, feel the same exact way.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, and what's wrong with that though? Scott, believe that he probably did have it.
Okay.
So you all believe that he did have it. So why we can't believe that he didn't have it?
Oh, because the only way you'd have to believe it is to go against, wait for it, DV, science. Like, come on, dude. There's doctors that said he did have it at the hospital, right? And now you're like, well, we believe the science. The Democrats are all about the science, trust the science. But when it comes to science, you're like, nope, I don't believe it.
Okay, you just made this a Democrat-Republican thing.
Oh my gosh, DV. Why don't you made it a political thing by saying, I think it was a political ploy, right?
I didn't say it a political. I said it for him.
You know what? Let's move on because DV is he's a wishy-washy guy. He's not going to ever get nailed. He's never going to be like, I didn't say that. I mean, I'd have to roll back the tape to actually prove that you did say it, dude.
Do you see where we went when we were just talking about masks?
Here's what I said. I said, I don't believe that he had it, he had it. He said he got it only to recover, just like Jay said. He's 74 years old. And he recovered in 10 days when there were people who were a lot healthier than him. They had to be quarantined for 14 days, and this guy was not. And then all of a sudden, he doesn't have it.
Can I tell you something about the quarantine?
That's a little
fishy. Who told you that? All right, it's who tells you that you have to be quarantined, not the effect you think you have to be quarantined. Are you quarantined for 14 days when you get the flu or cold? No. The key is they're saying, hey, we got to quarantine to keep people away from each other. These are rules created by Democratic governors in Democratic states in order to shut down the economy. This is what I believe, and it's possible, right, DV? It's all possible. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Whatever. I don't know. That was strong. You have a pretty strong opinion on my part, boys.
Well, I think we got it. Is there anything else in the mailbag?
What opinion aren't you strong on?
Yeah, right.
Still love you, Scooty.
According to Scott, it's his opinion that only matters.
I want to move on. We got more important pigeons to fry.
Ahead.
All right. So the second question from Mrs. Nancy, was, how will restaurants in cooler climates survive the winter months?
They won't.
Because it will be after November 3rd. Ding.
Oh, there you go. So as long as we don't have a cold spell between now and then, they'll be okay.
Yeah, we'll be fine, dude. After November 3rd and he wins the election, then it's going to be all over. They're going to be like, what? And listen, all the court cases, right? I mean, there have been there's suits against the governors and businesses and civilians that are saying, hey, class action lawsuits work, right? So when they start suing the governors of these states going, hey, you shut down our business, you kept us, our freedoms were impeded upon. Kind of humbug.
Hey, I look at it this way. A lot of restaurants are going to go out of business. That's going to open the door for new restaurateurs, and there's going to be a new wave of new restaurants and new business opportunities.
All cyclical, baby.
Yep.
All right. Okay. So, Jay, I'm gonna give the floor to you now that all the audience. And again, if you have a topic and you want to put it up at bigdivideshow.com, or if you want to go to the Big Divide on Facebook, just go to Big Divide, find us there, and then put topics in there. Like us on YouTube, like us on Spotify, whatever you're watching this on or listening to it on. Put the topic in there. All right.
Okay. So I got something to jump out on. This is a huge story, and we're less than 3 weeks away from the presidential election. And yesterday, the New York Post published an article revealing that a computer allegedly formerly owned by Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, had seriously incriminating evidence on it. Evidence of alleged pay-to-play corruption on the part of the former VP and his son. Now, these are very serious allegations, and I've heard on the radio today more of those emails having been released from that computer, and it's going to snowball. We haven't heard the end of it, nowhere near the end of it. And
they're worse today. They're worse today.
Yes, I know, but I don't even want to get into that at the moment. They're serious allegations, very serious allegations. And I also want to say parenthetically, I heard about this computer months ago. I don't know why this is just coming out now, but it is.
Yes, you do.
Well, okay. All right.
You're the smartest guy on the line here.
Okay, we know why it's coming out now, but
you just claimed
be that as it may, I'm going to side on or I should say, err on the side of fairness, and say that all of this still needs to be verified. Now, I want to point out that the article was published by none other than the New York Post, a legitimate news outlet by anyone's standards.
Decades.
In fact, decades. It's one of the oldest. In fact, I think it's the oldest newspaper, continuously published newspaper in America. It was founded in 1801 by Alexander Hamilton.
Well, let's put it this way. I've been alive for 5 decades, and it's been around since I've been alive. How's that?
Absolutely. And it's one of the largest newspapers in the world. My point is that it is a completely legitimate news source.
Yep.
But wait, that's not the story I want to talk about. There's a bigger story, in my opinion, that's behind this. So the story comes out, and all of a sudden it starts to blow up on Twitter. It's being posted out there on Facebook. And I was just looking at a Washington Post, another legitimate news outlet, depending on how you look at legitimate. It's a legitimate news outlet. Article dated today, October 15th, 2020. Facebook preemptively limited the spread of the story while sending it to third-party fact checkers. A decision the company said it has taken on various occasions, but it's not their standard process. This is an article from the New York Post. They're sending it out for fact checking. I wonder aloud, do they send out articles that are posted, that were written or released by the New York Times or the Washington Post? Because Twitter let the topic trend to number 3 before they temporarily locked, get this, White House press secretary Kayleigh McEnany's account, as well as the New York Post's account, adding notices to their tweets saying that they violated Twitter's rules on prohibiting publishing hacked materials. These materials weren't hacked, by the way. Trump's campaign account was temporarily locked. The last thing I want to point out is, as of today, there are roughly 48 million people in the U.S. that are registered on Twitter and over 223 million people registered on Facebook. Now, let's assume there's some overlap there and say that that's roughly 250 million people are being blacked out on what is absolutely legitimate news.
That's
the story.
on platforms that are claiming to be platforms, not publishers, right?
That is exactly my point.
Yes.
That's the bigger story, and that scares the living daylights out of me.
That is the bigger story. But again, and I think you just brought it up, right? Hey, I think restaurants will shut down, new entrepreneurs will come in and take them up, right? So you do see, like you see Dan Bongino putting together, and he didn't put it together. He's just an investor in Parler, in Rumble, which is like a YouTube. Parler is like a Twitter, right? Or a Facebook space, a town square space. So I think that, the public is going to get sick of it. And they're going to say, you know what? I'm going over here where they're not censoring anybody's speech, left, right, center, anybody. So what Twitter said was it violates our terms of service because of a hack, right? Even though you see plenty of Snowden stuff talked about, right, which was a hack, right? We came from
that we know we know that was a hack. That's not even alleged.
Yeah, that was a hack. This was, and let me ask DV a question here, because I'm assuming DV and Will, because they're not talking at all. DV, did you hear about this story?
Yeah, I just read it too as well. Yeah,
you just heard about it when?
Earlier today, because it was big news.
Okay. It's big news. Okay, how did you find out about it? Because I think I sent it to you, though. I think I sent it to everybody.
Yeah, you sent it to me.
Okay, I sent it to you. Okay, but you didn't hear about it on CNN. You don't hear about it on MSNBC. You don't hear about ABC, NBC. Nobody's covering this thing. Nobody.
Fox
even though
is.
Fox is. Okay, well, of course, they're crazy, aren't they?
And it's on talk radio today.
All right. So what you just brought up, just to catch everybody's speed, I did have a 1 minute clip. I'm going to play this clip from Tucker Carlson. Let's play that clip.
A major American newspaper published a story, apparently an entirely accurate story, about a presidential candidate. The tech monopolies that control American media feared this story might hurt that candidate, whom they favor. So 3 weeks before a national election, they shut the whole thing down. They prevented the public from reading the news. They didn't apologize for doing this. They didn't bother to make up reasonable-sounding justifications for it. They just did it, exactly as the Chinese government does. These are monopolies. They have all the power. You have none. They don't have to care what you think, and they don't. This was mass censorship on a scale that America has never experienced, not in 245 years. And it's a threat to all of us. Democracies only function when there is a free exchange of information between citizens. We no longer have that. This is a dark moment.
And it's a dark moment. Why is it so dark? I mean, we've never experienced this before. I want everybody's take on this. Why do you think this is occurring? What do you think the catalyst to all this is? Anybody?
I think this is a culmination of 50 plus years of a movement underway. I know this sounds conspiratorial. I know it, but I believe this is going on. There's a fundamental shift, an attempt to change the American culture. This is a revolution. We are witnessing a revolution that's going on, and that's what's happening. That's what we're seeing. The root word
of revolution is revolt. Who do you think is revolting?
I think the left is revolting against American culture, against capitalism.
And when you say the left, Jay, what do you mean by that? I mean, that's general, right? The left, and I can call. But what do you think they want to change? What do you think the?
Well, all revolutions are about money, I believe. So this is a money shift. This is an attempt at shifting and transferring money, of shifting wealth.
So you're saying class warfare? Class.
Absolutely.
All right. It's interesting. Here's what I think. I think the catalyst is, I talk to a lot of folks in my friends and family. They don't care if I bring up, this Biden issue with the email. So I'm having conversations on, Messenger and Facebook. They don't care. Like, I don't care. I know. I just want him gone. I really think that I think in my world, it calms down if Trump has a huge victory where he gets a popular vote plus the Electoral College. I think they have to shut up, right? Especially if for some reason the Senate is retained and hopefully the Congress flips back because of down ticket voting. I think that you're going to see them throw tantrums, but they won't. Everybody will be like, well, the United States has spoken. They might be angry about it, but I think it calms down if that occurs. I do think that I don't know, if Biden wins, if I could say this, I wanted to make this a topic. If there's a Democrat Congress, a Democrat Senate, and Trump wins, he's out. Like, they'll impeach. They'll vote to get him out, and now then they'll go to impeach. I heard this. They'll impeach Pence, and then all of a sudden we got President Pelosi.
There's a scary thought.
That's a very scary thought, right?
It is.
And my problem with this whole thing is they don't care about people anymore. They just care about which party's in control. Like it's two mobs battling each other. And I'm going back to when I used to say, I don't care. I'm not GOP. I'm not Democrat. I'm educated. I mean, these guys are all working for each other, patting each other on the back, getting rich. I mean, DC elite. This is what these emails are about, right? The new emails that just came out today talk about, hey, Pop's getting 10% of a Chinese take from Hunter Biden, right? Like that was, hey, Pop's getting 10%.
Did you hear about the emails where Pops was taking 50% of Hunter's cut?
Of Hunter's cut, right? Even Hunter was like, yeah, Pop's taking 50%. I hope you remember me in that. Like, these are Hunter's emails.
Hunter was complaining to his family that he had to pull the way. He had to carry everybody financially, yes, exactly. And that Pops has taken 50%. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. I just heard it today.
But it's true. It's Hunter. Let's think about the two parties. It's Hunter emailing his family, right?
Yes.
On emails he never thought would make it out there because the laptop made it in somebody's hands that got to the FBI and then got to Giuliani's lawyers.
Right.
So if this is all true, then they don't care. Nobody cares about it. They just if you say, hey, this came out. It's Hunter's emails. It was allegedly Hunter's laptop. The actual laptop said Beau Biden's foundation on it, right? And this happened. How do you feel about it now? And I have people in my life like, I don't care. I just want him out.
But listen, I think this goes even deeper than that. So we're hearing things that are leaking out. I stress, I don't know if they're true or not. What we do know is that the FBI has had this computer since last December.
Yeah.
So are you telling me they can't determine if it's true or not? Why haven't they torn this thing apart and investigated it?
They may have, Jay. They may have. Listen, it didn't come out from the FBI. The FBI might be doing something behind the scenes. Either they're covering it up or they're actually investigating stuff, right? Chasing it down to bring a case.
Fair enough.
All right, that's fair, right? Like it may be behind the scenes. They don't want to make it political, so it'll come out afterwards. But we're talking about a presidential election where the guy that's in question about the emails is going to be in the Oval Office. So I got to worry about that. I'm like, what is our bureaucracies that we're paying for? What are they doing to protect us against this kind of corruption, right?
Well, this brings me back to question the integrity of the FBI.
That's right. Exactly.
I want to say something. I got to say something here, right? I'm sorry, DV, all right? Because you guys are rambling on and the Puerto Rican wants to get in here, right? And here's what it boils down to, okay? Big tech versus democracy. And guys, the laptop was dropped off by somebody who knew Hunter Biden, and they had to fix it. And he didn't come to pick it up. He didn't pay for it. So the guy gained possession. Okay. It's like taking your clothes to the cleaners. You don't pick it up a certain amount of time. Now they belong to the cleaners. Same thing happened here. And when he looked at the files, he said, oh my God, he made, duplicates. He backed it up and he contacted the FBI, and the FBI didn't do anything. Now he contacted Giuliani's office. Okay, Giuliani's office is the one that took control of this.
America's mayor.
Now, here's what I will say. Just like you were saying, Scott, your family does not believe. They don't care. They just want them out. And it goes to my point earlier in the show when DV said, hey, why are you questioning if he had COVID or not? The president. Millions of people are believing this, and it's called memetics, right? Because the media, what they're doing, they're putting garbage out there. They're distorting the truth, and they're using it as propaganda, and they control media. So anything that the left puts out there, they believe. And anything that the right puts out there is banned. So how do you get the truth? And people are believing this. And big tech, right now, they control everything. It's a monopoly. They want socialism, okay? They want to turn this country into socialist. And it's proven yesterday, right? What they did to the New York Post, that's never, ever happened in over 200 years in America, right? That's how, the congressmen, they get the truth out to the public, the media. And right now, the media put out a fact-checked report. That's a true report. Those are validated. Even the Biden administration did not deny it. They're hiding them now. So when that's going on, right, what are they doing? That's communist China. here in America. That is scary. And that's a revolution, Jay. You are absolutely correct. That is scary. And I'm going to say this, and watching my television show yesterday, right down on the letters, it came out that Barron Trump tested positive too. Is that a lie also? Barron Trump's 14, 15 years old? No, and he recovered, but he had the virus also. They're not lying about this. But this is what's going on. And people hate Donald Trump because of what's been distorted to the people. And that's where statues are coming down, violence is occurring, and it's all left. The left is creating this. I've never seen something like this, and our freedoms are at stake.
And I think what you're going to see at the ballot box is you're going to see, again, everybody voted against Hillary because they were sick and tired of the establishment, right? And I think it's even worse today. I think with the walkaway movement, with everything else, people are telling me he's going to lose. I'm like, well, we'll see. Let's bet. I got $1,000 as your dad. I might have some money on this election here. I might have a little windfall coming.
And this goes down. I'm going to say this, all right? Just notice our leaders, Nancy Pelosi on CNN with Wolf Blitzer. Don't question me. You can't ask anything, any type of questions shocked to the people on the left. Kamala,
she was shocked.
Right? Biden, you can't ask questions.
Nancy Pelosi's most revealing moment in that interview with Wolf Blitzer was when she said, "We feed them. I feed them."
Oh yeah, good point, Jay.
She exposed
Nancy
the
Antoinette.
left and the
Let them eat cake.
Yes, right. Taking $12 a pint ice cream out of her $24,000 refrigerator. You got it. I feed them, Wolf.
Dude, if I was
If
I was Wolf Blitzer, I'm like, now, can you feed them out of those 2 huge freezers?
It said everything. It was just everything right there encapsulated. Yeah.
Here's what I'm fearful of. Big tech is a monopoly, and they're supporting, the Biden administration and so forth, right? And the media is corrupt.
They hate the Biden administration. I can guarantee you most of the left.
They're throwing money down.
Democrats
They just want them to win.
It's not about Biden.
I get it, but they want Trump out, right? At all costs.
That's what it's about.
That's what it's all about. We know this, so they got to fund Biden, right? They don't care about
Biden rallies.
But just notice. Just notice. Let me say this, Scott, okay? With all the rallies going on, Trump's the front runner. And the polls got him losing, okay? Yeah. And the left, we now know that they're backed by the monopoly, big tech, okay? Just notice. And the election, is it rigged with the mail-in votes? Something tells me that he's going to lose because the election's fraudulent. And I hope it doesn't happen that way. But because if it's a straightforward election, he's going to win by a landslide. He's going to get back the House. He's going to get back the Senate. He's going to have full control of the Congress. But I got a feeling with big tech, they got something up their sleeve. Just notice, if they can ban anything on Facebook right away, from Twitter right away, can they do it with electronic votes? Just notice.
Well, okay. So you're suggesting I go to the polls, I vote, I submit my vote, and it turns into a digital vote, and they're saying somebody's going to hack
I got a feeling it could be hacked in. Think about it. Russia conspiracy, impeachment. They've thrown everything at him, and he's still standing. One way to take him down, cheat at the ballot box. Let's alter these votes. That's scary. That's something to think about. And I think about it every single day because they're cool, calm, and collective on the other side. All the rallies are going for the parades. Trump, he had a parade in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, he did.
Just think about it. So, come on, this guy is dominating. And the left believes that they're going to win. Something to think about. That's conspiracy right there, DV. Right there, DV. That's the one thing that you should think about it.
Why is that directed to me? Why was that? All of that was directed towards me.
Why did you direct it at him, Will? Why?
because he's the one that comes up with the conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
He said
About the
Donald
alleged-
Trump did not have COVID.
Exactly.
That's the reason why, DV.
Okay, let's roll with that. Did we see
We're rolling.
any
I'm waiting.
like result tests? Yeah, we see any tests that he actually had it. Did we see any of that?
Hey, doctors came out and said he had it. Doctors at
Okay,
Walter Reed said
okay.
he had it.
Okay, so you all could believe that there's a conspiracy on the left, but there is no conspiracy that could happen on the right.
What do you say conspiracy? Name a
Based
conspiracy
off
that
of
we
what you all
believe.
just said.
What do we say about Biden's
That's a
email?
question.
Hunter's Biden's email. Which conspiracy are you referring to? Because we're actually referring to your conspiracy about Donald Trump not having COVID.
So one of the conspiracy Will was talking about was the voting, or that we can electronically vote and it's going to be different from what you actually voted. So you believe that?
No,
that
he's
could be
worried
a
about it.
Conspiracy.
Nobody's
Oh,
ever
he's worried
said
about
that
it.
except Will Montez. He's the first
Okay.
human in America that I've heard say electronic voting is going to be hacked. Right. So that's not a
Okay.
conspiracy theory. That's his worry.
Exactly.
Okay.
You brought up a
Right.
conspiracy theory. Well, Donald Trump didn't have COVID. I believe that he allegedly. When I'm like, wait a minute. So you're suggesting Walter Reed, the medical staff at Walter Reed's actually covering it up? Is it that possible? That's a conspiracy. You're conspiring against something that's been
Trump has
reported.
gone on and said, hey, there's going to be a big announcement. He said this before the whole COVID thing, and then all of a sudden he gets COVID, and then he's well. So it's questionable for me. That's why. So he could have very well had COVID. I'm just saying it's questionable for me and alleged. That's how I feel about it.
So, DV, just so that I'm clear, if that is indeed a conspiracy, the benefit would be shifting sympathy toward him?
Could be, yeah, because we see it. People are coming out; they're supporting him. He had people at the hospital show up and all that. So that could have been one of the ploys. I hear even on the left, they say, "Oh, this is fake," and so they want people to believe that he didn't. That it's a ploy. There's two.
DV, do you believe that the Russia investigation, and they spent $40 million, okay, investigating him, okay, do you think that was a conspiracy or that actually happened?
Do I believe the Russian part was a conspiracy, or that what
Yeah.
the
Or was
actual,
it-
or what do you mean? What actually
Do you
happened? What are you
believe?
saying actually happened?
Let me
You asked the
clarify
question. Go
for
ahead,
my
host.
Yeah, let me clarify for my buddy Will, because
He knows what I'm talking about. I'm Puerto
Yeah.
Rican. Go ahead.
I'm going to translate. I'm going to translate Puerto Rican. Here we go to English.
Yeah, that's good.
He
He's
understands.
asking, so we already know that Russia interferes or tries to interfere with elections. Everybody does, and even China, whatever. That's all happening, right? Do you believe that the FBI and the CIA spied on the Trump campaign to help Hillary Clinton win?
There's a probability.
Okay,
Yes.
he said probable, Will. All right.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to get out of DV. That's as best you can get right there.
Well, it hasn't been adjudicated, so that's, to be fair, that's the best you can offer.
Yeah.
But I
exactly.
would
I don't
put
have
money
any
on
proof.
it.
Right, because I don't have any proof whether they did or didn't. I don't have that. We just
you know what
get that
I hear
information.
in this conversation? What's really sad and scary is that neither side of the political debate has faith in the integrity of the United States government.
That's right. That's a good point.
real. That's
Yes,
really
exactly.
That's a problem. That's a problem. Nobody trusts anybody. Why is that?
Maybe the anarchists have something. All right. Like, let this
yeah.
guy off.
Yeah. Well, and that's what anarchists would want, isn't it?
Yep. That is. All right, Jay, you got a new nickname. Anarchist Abramovitz.
Anarchist. I don't know. I'll mull that over. I think I still go with the most interesting man in the world.
Okay.
I like that.
It's a lot to say, but I like it better.
Yeah, I got another topic.
Go.
LeBron versus MJ.
MJ.
Ooh.
GOAT. Who's the GOAT? Greatest of all time.
Oh man, this is a tough one for me, man, because I'm a huge Jordan fan, and I was in that era. So, I mean, for what MJ did for the game and around the world, I mean, people easily recognize with MJ, And there is no LeBron without MJ. So that's, for me, that's why he's going to always be the GOAT. However, I cannot look down of what LeBron has accomplished and what he has done. So, and now he has 4 rings. So he has the opportunity to either get 6 or maybe even surpass Jordan. So does that make him the GOAT then?
I was waiting for my brother from another mother to respond. I was waiting for you, bro. Okay? Hands down, Jordan. Hands down, Michael Jordan. LeBron, B-I-T-C-H. The biggest B-I-T-C-H. Don't touch me. Now, if he would have played in Michael Jordan's era, oh my God.
Yeah,
they would have beat him up.
Well,
right?
Well, but here's
what
the
the
thing,
Pistons
though, Will,
did to Michael Jordan made him better.
Okay, I agree with you on that. However, Will, have we ever seen an athlete play basketball built like LeBron James? And as fast as
on
Johnson,
that aspect, he's on
Johnson.
that aspect, his build, I agree with you 100%. 100%. Okay? But Michael Jordan was on one team. Okay? Just notice. And his teammates would change. And he made everyone better. Right? He made everyone better. He didn't go shop for guys to bring them in. Okay. And if you look at Miami, the Heat, the first 2 championships that they won, who was the go-to guy? It was Dwayne Wade. He was the Batman, and LeBron was the Robin. All right. Scottie Pippen was never Batman to Michael Jordan. Ever. And Michael Jordan, right? Nobody could stop him. And just think about it. How many great teams were there against Michael Jordan, the Chicago Bulls? And you look at all the people who did not get a ring. Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, Stockton, who else? Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
Patrick Ewing. Yeah. All Hall of Famers who never got a ring because of Michael Jordan. Just think about
is Will excited about this topic?
Oh, yeah.
I hear some passion. Okay, well, hey, Will, let me just ask you this. MJ or Ditka?
Ditka 42-7.
Thank you, Scooty. Yeah.
That's a good one. I love it.
It's Saturday Night Live skit. All of New York, the borough of the Brooklyns versus Ditka. Ditka by 7.
Talking like a true Chicagoan, right? Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
See, I'm not from Chicago.
I mean, obviously I'm from Chicago, and I got. But when a guy goes, how many finals was Jordan in? Finals.
How many finals?
6.
Yeah.
6.
This is 6?
How many rings? How many
6.
rings?
6.
How many finals has LeBron been in?
Ooh.
Yeah, 10, I believe, right?
10.
Yeah,
How many rings?
Yeah, 4.
4.
Oh, I wonder who
That's
had
a
one.
great point.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Right. I get it. There. However, I'm just saying I'm leaning more towards MJ. I'm going to be Michael Jordan. Yeah, because I grew up in that. I even met Michael Jordan. He wore my glasses in a pickup game that was done in Atlanta. All that kind of stuff. So I'm a huge fan as a kid.
Really?
Right?
You got those glasses?
No, I didn't know I didn't know the value of that, right? But
are you kidding me, brother?
No, I didn't, man. I don't.
Oh my gosh.
Like my dad, I even got to go back and meet him and all that kind of stuff. But anyhow, that's neither here or there. I'm saying it's going to be hard for me to
then
go
allegedly
against
he wore
Jordan.
your glasses. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly he wore your glasses.
Yeah.
I have no proof of it. All right. Okay.
You have no
all
proof.
Right, so
sounds like a conspiracy.
It's a fish story.
To me.
It sounds like a fish story.
Yeah,
right?
big fish.
So I'll go with that.
Totally.
Yeah. So it's going to be. I mean, and what Michael did for the game, not just the game of basketball, but across what basketball turned into because of him. So again, there is no Kobe, there is no LeBron James. LeBron James would be Magic Johnson without Michael Jordan. So, and LeBron will tell you, Michael was his idol, but his game is built around so many other great players, and the guy's just built. I heard someone say for when you talk about championships, you gotta go with Bill Russell. You talk about the different stats, what player excelled in these different areas. You can name one particular player, and then they get to Michael Jordan and say, who was the most dominant player in his time. But then they said LeBron is by far the best player to reach all of those categories, stats and all this kind of stuff. So I just say for his era, in this time of basketball, LeBron is the GOAT for his era. But overall, GOAT,
I agree.
I got to give it to Michael Jordan.
Greatest of all time or greatest of the era? So that would be a go. Go-y.
Here's a question for you, DV.
Greatest of the era.
Yeah.
DV, here's a question for you. Which era was better? Which era had better players? Right? Michael Jordan's or the current era right now? What league, was the league better before, or is the league better now?
If you took Michael Jordan's league and took the All-Stars from that league and then the All-Stars from this league today, who would you bet on?
So we're talking about LeBron's league now.
A dream team of current players today and a dream team of current players from yesteryear, including the Kobe's and the Shaqs.
We've had the two. Yeah, we've had the two dream teams. Again, that's it. I'm going to go with the first dream team because they set the standard, and there is no second dream team,
and they never lost
without the first one. Yeah, okay, they never lost. So yeah, that's the argument. So I'm going to go with that. They never lost. And I mean, yeah, you it's hard to.
I want to say something about LeBron really quick here. This is just going to go on. I appreciate what that guy has done for the youth. I appreciate where he came from and how much he gives back to the community. I don't know that I like how political he's made the game with his positions. But whereas Jordan is like, yeah, everybody buys sneakers, so I'm going to stay right in the middle. Right. So, he stayed very neutral. But I can say that, LeBron is,
and he does that to this day.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He does say that today. But LeBron is a very good human giving back to the community. He's good. Now, on the court, the decision itself soured me for LeBron forever when he pulled the decision and did that. I'm like, I can't root for this guy ever again based on that. But I can say that the guy's a good giver.
I mean, I don't shoot the guy in the head because he got on and made that decision. That was, it was a lot of thought that went into it. It was his decision to make. We all, the media and everybody made a spectacle. I mean, this kid since he was in school, he's been in the limelight because of his talents. So for us to say, hey, I'll never root him again because he made a decision to leave Cleveland, which is part of a business decision.
It wasn't a decision to leave Cleveland would have been fine, right?
I know what you're talking about. The decision to
manipulate a whole network. He manipulated a whole network, right? To make it about him.
Right. But also the media, the networks played in, they were part of that too, because they were boasting, what is his decision going to be? They hammered them about
no problem.
Hey,
but he personally manipulated it and benefited from it because of that, right? You wouldn't see
did
Jordan
he manipulate,
do that.
or he ran with what was there?
Are you suggesting they brought it to him or he brought it to them?
I could suggest that they brought it to him because
look it up. Look it up. So look at your stuff. Just go to YouTube. The decision. You'll see a documentary about that and how even the networks are like, it was a totally bad decision. Like the guys who actually helped them pull that off were saying it was a bad decision.
Yeah, so they all look hindsight and say it was a bad decision, but in the middle of all of that, it is plays for good TV, great ratings, and all that stuff goes into that, and so we crucify the guy for that, and I'm like, yeah, it was a bad decision.
And you wouldn't see that. You wouldn't see Jordan do that. You wouldn't see that kind of character come out of Jordan.
Yeah, but Jordan is a different guy, and he came up in we're talking.
Yeah,
we want.
I agree.
See, the thing is we're wanting LeBron to be Michael Jordan, and that's just not the case. We just want to be a good human.
And I already said he's a good giver. He gives back to the community, right? Yeah. But the minute and when it comes to the game. When it comes to his community service is incredible. LeBron James. Mm-hmm. However, when it comes to the game, which is part of the spectacle of the game, when he did that, soured me forever. I cannot, my very core, I want to see him lose every single time because of what he did.
Michael Jordan was a leader. Kobe was a leader. LeBron, he's not a leader. He's great.
No, he's a leader.
He's not. No.
He's a leader.
No, he's not a leader.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
People follow him.
So who led in Miami? Who led in Miami? Dwayne?
Willie, it doesn't matter what you say. I mean, people follow him to a team.
So you're right and I'm wrong.
Oh, I'm right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's Mr. Right. Oh, yeah. Right?
Yeah, no. He is a leader. Listen, let's just go around the panel here. I think he's a leader because people want him on the team and people want to play with him.
Because he's great.
Hold on, Willie. This is it's not time to figure out who's right or wrong. Let's just take a poll. Hey, Davey, do you think he's a leader?
Yeah, but the poll favors you now.
Willie, you're still talking.
Okay, go ahead.
Woody. Hey, Davey, do you think he's a leader?
I do.
LeBron. Okay. Jay, do you think he's a leader?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, there you go, Will.
All
Who's right? Who's right? Who's wrong?
It's not you.
So here's a question for Will. Here's a question for you, Will. You always ask me questions, Will. So choose any of the players today that you would take over LeBron if you were building a team. And that player, the team had to be centered around that player that you would pick over LeBron.
I no longer watch the NBA, so I can't pick a player.
You gotta go political.
Y'all talk about dodging yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jimmy did a good job, dude. He really proved himself this series, right?
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Butler, you're talking about? Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so we only got a few minutes left. I'm going to go down this list of things to ask everybody to go around. Okay, Amy Coney Barrett for confirmation. You like what she's doing? Don't yay, nay. You like? How do you feel about it? Really quick, Jay. How do you feel about ACB?
ACB, yay.
You like her? I like her, man.
I do.
She's original.
She's got integrity. She's clearly very bright. I was watching some of the confirmation hearings. She's analytical. She stays on point. I have no complaints.
Okay, Willie, ACB.
Cool, calm and collective. Very impressive. Very intelligent. Not using any notes. And the stupid questions that they're asking her. When I say stupid, right? But she's in control. She's a judge. She's a judge.
Did they ask her at one point if she had sex with a horse?
Maisie Hirono.
Yeah.
With a horse? Are you kidding me, Jim?
No, they didn't ask that. No, come on. Did not happen.
But Maisie Hirono, right? Hirono.
Yeah.
Sexual preference.
Yeah.
Right? Sexual preference. And Webster Dictionary changed it that it's an offensive word.
Right.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, dude.
What world are we living in?
Yes. Everybody's lining it up. It's amazing. Like we live in this computer program. It's amazing. Davey, ACB, any thoughts?
I was impressed with the interview the portion that I saw with her. I liked her answers because they asked her, it was more or less, hey, would you take a stance on a political side? And she said that's not for her to decide. She is a judge, and her stance is to make judgments not based off of her own personal opinions or how she feels politically, but she would push the laws and rules that were set by the rule makers. So I couldn't do nothing but respect that. So I'm good with her, based off of what I've heard, what I saw that.
That's great, DV.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Will. I appreciate that. It means a whole lot to me.
Thank you, Dad.
You just got the seal of approval.
Oh, man.
Wow, I'm legit
one more thing.
now.
One last thing. One last thing. October surprises. So we've seen have we seen an October surprise so we got one from the right, which is the Hunter Biden stuff. Have we seen one from the left? Let's go around the room. Jay, what do you think the October surprise? Have we seen it? And if we did, what do you think it was?
I don't think we've seen it, and I have no idea what it is.
I'm talking about the Democrats' October surprise.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's going to be spectacular. I don't believe we've seen it yet.
Okay. Willie.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. They're going to come up with something.
I think that the tax that it was I believe they did it. It was the $750 in income tax, right? The leaked we've been waiting for it forever, and all of a sudden we got them. I think that was it. It's fizzled.
Well, I hope you're right, because that's not very much.
Yeah, it's terrible, right? I mean, it's terrible. All right, and Devi, any October surprise you see coming from the Dems?
I don't think we've seen it yet. However, Scott, I want to what your point is. If they feel like the tax thing is, we got them, they're in trouble, because that to me, I'm like, you guys just don't understand, right? They don't understand the rules and the laws. So if they feel like the tax was the got you moment, then chalk it up for a win for Trump.
I will say this before you wrap on that. Yeah. If I know my thinking was, shame on the president if he couldn't get that $750 knocked off too. I'd have sent that back to my accountant.
How do you pay $750, right?
Yeah, I never would have let that fly.
All right. I always say this. I'm like, the laws were actually created to benefit Americans. The processes were designed to take advantage of them. Laws were created. If you understand the laws, you get to use them to your advantage. If you understand what's going on. If you don't understand it, then processes were created to take advantage of you. That's my point. All right. We're going to end the show right there. Hey, listen, go to YouTube, hit the like button. That helps us. That helps the SEO stuff. Subscribe to it. That way, always in your inbox, you'll find out when the new shows come out. Go to Spotify, do the same thing. Go to Facebook, The Big Divide on Facebook, and then BigDivideShow.com. Go there. Let us know what you want us to talk about. You'll be the first thing we do talk about. We always treat our audience better than we treat ourselves. So BigDivideShow.com. Anybody else?
Yeah, BigDivideShow.com. Tell us who your favorite host is.
Anybody else?
BigDivideShow.com.
BigDivideShow.com. It better be me.
See you guys later. See you guys next week.
This has been The Big Divide. Don't forget to subscribe for your weekly dose of unfiltered and unapologetic conversation.
Done and done.
And of course, share this episode with all of your friends. Well, maybe not the sensitive ones.
You apologize right now. Do you have a question, topic, or opinion that you want to hear discussed? Go to BigDivideShow.com and tell us all about it.
Or simply look up Big Divide on Instagram or Facebook and send us a message.